all of the pools that we placed are there. So if I were to do this magic trick over and over, I'd be able to do it 40 times before I run out of pigeons. Hello guys, my name is Cesar. I am a Machinations diagram architect, and today we're going to be doing something different from what we've previously done. I'm not going to construct a system or a subsystem or show you some advanced stuff in Machinations. Instead, I will be showing you how to use Google Drive and manipulate data in Excel and then import it back as a diagram. Now, where is this useful? The biggest usefulness I can see for this is if you have a diagram that has a lot of nodes that are very repetitive. So for instance, a gacha box where you have, let's say, thousands of options. Let's take for instance the League of Legends Hextech chess. So you have a lot of options there, and most of them have similar chances of receiving those prizes. So for all epic skins you probably have the same chance, for all legendary skins you probably have the same chance. So placing an individual node for each skin would be hell, I imagine. I wouldn't even want to think about it. So instead you can use Google Drive to quickly create nodes and quickly assign them to different rarities, as I'll show you later, and then import it back cleanly and create a not very aesthetic but functional diagram. So I want to mention a couple of things. First of all, I'm not very knowledgeable of Excel, so I do know a few shortcuts but not too many, which means that if you are better at the tool than I am, then you'll make even more use out of this video probably. And the second one is I'm not gonna create the part that decides what gives you the loot box. So I'm not gonna create a scenario where oh, you only get a chest if you do this, you only. So I'm gonna only be handling the loot part, the gacha box part, where you open them and by random chance you receive one of many results. I'm not going to be doing a 1000 node diagram because it's not entirely the purpose. I just want to show you how to manipulate them. We're going to probably be doing 50 something nodes or 60 or whatever, and you're going to see how easy it is to create new nodes and quickly place them where you want and have them work as you want. So with that in mind, I think we're going to get into it. We have an empty canvas here. Now the first thing I want to do is show you how a diagram looks once exported. So for that we're going to need one of each node that we're going to use. This is pretty important because for each node there will be a table created in the Excel sheet. So you want to place at least one of each of the nodes that you're going to use. In our case it's going to be source, gate, pool, and resource connection. Those are the only 4 nodes that we're going to need. I'm also going to create a diagram using only 3 rarities. So I'm gonna do rare, epic, and legendary. I'm gonna assume that once you get, so the rare, epic, and legendary rarities will definitely be different. It's gonna be easier to get a rare than an epic and so on. But once you get a rare skin, there's an equal chance that it will be any of the rare skins. So let's say there are 40 rare skins. If it's sure that you get a rare one, it's equally probable that you get each of the 40 skins. So this is how I'm going to handle it. So for that, I'm going to create the base skeleton, let's say, of the diagram, and we're going to take it from there. We're gonna make 3 more gates, leaving this one. And we're gonna name them accordingly. I'm gonna name this one loot. Then we're gonna name this ones rare, epic, legendary. And we're gonna make them all random after that. And after randomizing all of them, I'm not gonna be handling the labels here. We're gonna do it in the sheet. I'm gonna add only one pool to each of them, so we have them present in the diagram. Let's not do it like this. Let's do it like this. So we have three pools for one pool for each of them. Okay, so this is all you're gonna need here. Now I want to show you how this diagram looks when exported. So it's gonna ask for a name. You're gonna give it a name. Let's refresh. Have a second one. So this is it. Now were you to modify this diagram, let's say add and then export, this one should automatically update. There you see the delay appeared here. So let's remove this delay, we don't need it. I'm going to talk about the nodes for a bit. Export again. Cool. So how does the diagram look like? We have the name, the owner, creation date, whatnot. This isn't really important. This stuff here is pretty important. Time interval, time steps, and these two number of batch runs and total runs are for multiple runs. Then we have the global variables, which are these over here. The dice is set by default, so there we have it. And then we have the nodes. Now, what does a node contain? It contains an ID, which is arguably the most important part of its properties. Then it contains geometry properties, which are something we're not going to touch. I mean, we are, but you'll see. It has height, width, and other stuff that defines them. Here we have visual aspects, and the font size and the color is actually what's going to interest us. The font size may be less, but the font color is going to play a role here. Activation, which is the activation of the node. Here it's set to automatic, so we have automatic. Resource color is black, as you can see. And showing chart is unavailable because you can't plot a source. There is no option to do it. Then we have the pools. The geometry and style are the same as the source. They have activation passive because they're passive. Activation mode is this one, action here, which can be one of these. Resources 0, resources color, capacity display, overflow. These are all in the property panel. Resources, capacity display, overflow. And showing chart is unchecked, so it's 0. Were it checked, it would be 1. Then we have gates. As you can see, all of them have labels, but since I didn't name the pools in the source, it's just a blank space. But the gates, as they have names, they show the labels here. Geometry style the same. Activation passive. Activation mode. Distribution dice. This is whether it's random or deterministic. I believe if it weren't like this, it would say deterministic, but it says dice because they're all random. Showing chart, no possibility. So, and we have research connection, which have the labels set by default. Geometry this, and then we have source and target. These are going to be important for us. The source is the source node of the connection, and the target, as you guessed, is the target node. So this resource connection here with ID 404, it's leaving the source 402, which is this one, entering the target 403, which is the gate. So we are talking about this connection here. This is the connection 404. As you see, it has the number here. The ID is 404. Those have also those properties: interval-based color coding, limits, shuffle source. These aren't very important right now for us. Another thing that I want to do, this is more out of laziness, I guess, is give them each a color in here, because I want to take the I'm gonna show you, but if you want to change the color in the sheet, you'll have to enter the colors code, and I'm not about to learn them all, so I'm just gonna color them here. I'm gonna save, and then it's gonna update in here as well, so we can just pick them from here. As you see, this is black, and I saved it. I should have exported. Now it should, yeah. As you see, it's a different color. All right. Now, what we want to determine for ourselves, and also let me show you, it's perfectly safe to do it. You can just type here whatever you want. It's not going to influence the diagram in any way. How many nodes do we want? So how many pools do we want? So we want something like, guess I'm not gonna go with too many pools. I'm gonna make, I guess, 40 rare ones should be fine. 10 epics, and the almighty legendary should have 3, maybe. Fair enough. So this is more to help us. Now, I also want to do another thing here, because those pools have those gates and those pools that have different heights. We have to associate the respective pools with the respective gates. As you see, this one has x 140 and y 30, while this one's the x remains unchanged, but the y is changed because they are at different heights. So these ones we want to associate with their respective gates. So I'm going to type rare here, so I know which is which. Okay, now we want to multiply those pools. Because of that, those lines are in the way. So don't worry, you can just paste them somewhere where they won't bother you. Let's not get this notification again, because I hope I know what I'm doing. You can place them here, there's no problem. You're not going to lose anything by it. So we're going to have, I'm going to also place those two pools somewhere safe and delete these ones. Now we have only the rare pool, so we're going to need 40 of them. What I want you to remember is that you can safely change their IDs, and nothing special will happen. Just make sure that you have no conflicting IDs, so you don't have two IDs for the two of the same IDs for two different nodes, because that would cause a problem. So just remember to keep track of them, but other than that you can freely change them with whatever numbers you want. There's no problem. So the pools, this is rare. We want 40 of these. Now first of all I'm gonna copy this one, so then we can drag it easier. And we're gonna want 40 of them, so since it's 26, it's gonna count to 65, I guess. Did I count that correctly? Count 40. There we have it. So we want the IDs to be different. Let's hope this works. It did work. That's cool. So now we have consecutive IDs for them, so we don't mix them up. And we should give them the color of their respective gate. So we're gonna have that in here in style. We're gonna take the font color and the stroke color, which are identical. So the font color is the color of the text that the label has, and the stroke color is the color of the outline. I'm gonna modify them here and here, and then we're gonna copy paste like a bunch of lazy people. So now they should all be colored blue. Those are the rare ones. Let's put in the epic and the legendary ones. This is the epic pool. Let's take the name as well. Paste it here. Should be 452. And we're gonna need 10 of these. Again, I believe we can just copy the first, then drag them all together so they're the same. 10, we need 10 of them, right? This should be fine. Then have this one. No? Come on. Something like this. See, this is what I was talking about. Ah, there we have it. Nice. So I think we have 10 of them. Yeah, 10. These are colored black. We're gonna make them purple. We're gonna steal the color from here. No, from the gates. We're gonna steal the color from the gate. The purple, which is the first epic one. This is the first epic one. Currently black. We're about to change that, and then copy paste it, because that's how we do things here. And lastly, we have the legendary one. It's gonna be more of the same, but this one's gonna go a bit faster because it's only 3 of them, thankfully. Now you can imagine that if there were thousands of nodes, this would be quite a headache, but it's still way better than placing them individually. It's way better. I've done some of those boxes with many options, and it's absolutely horrible having to place so many nodes. Grab the color, place it here. This one is, I think we're just gonna have to copy paste those 2 rows. Let's not get fancy because there is no need to. Change those IDs individually. 464. So we should have 53 pools right now with different colors. No labels. Can label them, I guess, but I don't see a point. Now it's time to pull those two packs of nodes back to the diagram. Place them here. Please don't. Thank you. We don't need this anymore. Right. So now let's make sure we don't have any conflicting IDs, because I want to show you how the diagram will look currently. We have from 412 to 464. This would be conflicting. And this one. So this is the first one. This is the first label. This should be this connection, and these 3 connections should be these 3. These one are conflicting. We're gonna start them from 465 onwards. 465, 466, 467. There shouldn't be any conflicting IDs now, hopefully. Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna show you how the diagram looks right now. We're gonna import. Again, it's gonna ask for authentication. I trust them, so I'll allow them. As you see, I've had many attempts before learning this stuff. Let's overwrite it. please. Okay, thank you. So they're all connected to this one because I haven't set the connections yet, but that's okay. That's not what I want to show you. As you can see, it may look like we only have 3 pools, but in reality all of the pools that we placed are there. So if I were to do this magic trick over and over, I'd be able to do it 40 times before I run out of pigeons. Same for here, same for legendary, all 3 of them, as you see, only 3. So what we need to do now, once we have those pools, is make sure that these gates connect to the respective pools. So the rare gate will only connect to these pools, epic to those, and you get what I mean. So how are we going to do this? We're going to have to multiply the resource connection as well, and we're going to have to keep an eye out for the source and target. So the first 4 ones we're not going to touch. Let's place some kind of delimiter on the 4 of them. Do not touch. Okay, so we know these we don't have any business with them. We do want to modify the labels though, so I'm just gonna generate openings one by one. So this one we're not gonna modify. So what are the chances that we want for a rare, epic and legendary? I believe a fair assessment would be something like 70% for rare, 25% for epic, and 5% for legendary. Hope you agree. Not really important. Now we need to have as many of those resource connections without the holy 4. We need to have as many of them as there are pools. We have 53 pools, if my math serves me correctly. So we're going to need 53 of those resource connections, and we need them with those. We're not going to be concerned about their X and Y because, as you can see, they are 0. They don't really matter. What concerns us is that the source is correct and the target is correct. Now the source for the rare ones. We're going to want the source to be the gate that is the rare pool, so 405. So we're going to want what this one has. We're going to want for all of them. So we need 40 of them. I guess you can just drag them. Yeah, sure. Let's just drag them. I guess it's fine. So we start from 93. There should be 40. So 132. Let's see if I counted that correctly. No, I don't want to sum. I want to count. 40. Okay. Now we're gonna need to ID them. They are ID'd. Okay, so the IDs are, the limits are okay, the shuffle source okay, everything's okay except the target and the source. So as I said before, the source we want this one, 405. And the target we want to be the first 40 pools, which are the rare ones. So these have the IDs here. So starting from 412, which is the first one, that's nice. Let's see, okay, it works like this. We're gonna drag it for 40. So up to 451, which is the last rare one, it should be. Yeah, it's the last rare one. So this should all connect now to the rare ones. Should we import again to see how it looks? Let's import again. I'm going to save this and let's import. G drive, open, overwrite. As you see, all of them are connected now. They all have their respective arrows. So it looks okay. Now we also have to add the epic and the legendary ones. Which is going to be more of the same, I imagine. Let's mark it here, the epic one, and start dragging them down. We're gonna need only 10 of these, so starting from 133, I'm guessing 142 should be fine. Yeah, that's 10 of them. Those are consecutive, so that's nice. We need to, I believe even the target is consecutive, so we don't even have to worry about those anymore because the consecutive ones were actually the right ones. We only need to change the source, which is the epic one, which is 407. So starting from here, 407, copy paste. There are the epic ones. See, that's how fast we created those 10 immediately in the blink of an eye. Now we have the legendary ones. I'm gonna mark it as well. Now we imagine this may not seem a lot for a 10, but imagine if there were 1,000 and you just drag it and the roll will be completed. It's very, very time efficient. Same stuff. Pick 2 of those so they're actually increasing. Drag them down. Set the source to 409, I believe. Yeah, 409. There we go. We have the source. Okay, we have the IDs are not conflicting. Yep. So now we should have all of them connected. I believe we want to color them as well, maybe. Does it really matter? I mean, let's just do it for the sake of beauty, of aesthetics. So let's steal the font color from here. Now, another thing I want to talk about, but just after I color the rare pools, I'm going to talk about it, is that let me copy this, paste it all the way to Epic. Okay, so before I color the rest, thing is, as you can see, they all have a label of 1, except the 3 distributing ones. So I'm assuming, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I'm assuming that once you get a rare skin, there's an equal chance that you get, each rare skin has the same chance, so there's not a rare skin that's more rare than another rare skin, if that makes any sense. So they all have equal chances while once they get on the respective rarity. So you can actually leave the label as 1. You can leave it at whatever value you want. Actually, just make sure they're equal, because Machinations weights those rates. So if I were to, I don't know, place a label of 100% here, let's say, because it looks better than 1, and just copy paste it all the way down, it's still fine. I can do 200%, I can do whatever I want, because they will all calculate it, add all of them, and then divide by their number. And so let's say I had, for instance, if I had here 100% and this one would be 50%, and we'd only have those 2 nodes, this one would be a 66% and this one would be a 33%, 33.3, whatever. So this is how Machinations calculates them. So there's no need to concern yourself about those labels. The only important ones are these ones, because those distribute the rarity. So without out of the way, let's color the epic one as well. Let's steal the color from here. I believe this is the purple. It's this one starting with the 4. I believe this is the first one. Okay, copy this, go all the way to legendary, but not including, and for legendary, we should have this one. There we go. I believe this could be done equally as fast in the tool as well, so it's not really important to color them here. I just did it because I don't want to keep switching tabs. So right now they should all be connected properly. I believe this is all that you'll need to do here. I hope I'm not forgetting anything, but we'll see when the diagram runs if I do. As long as the targets are correctly set, and they are, and the sources are correctly set, this should be connected properly. This text doesn't influence us. And this is how it's going to look like. I'm not going to modify any parameters there. Let's just save it and import it and try and take it from there. So we have 53 pulls, 57 connections with the 4 extra ones, and overwrite it. So it looks pretty similar to the one that we built before even starting this. Now, how do we arrange them? Because we obviously don't want to just drag them. That would be the same as creating them. Now, this is a bit subjective to preferences, and this is the first time I actually used these things, but we actually have an arrange tab here which has some layouts, so you can do it something like horizontal, so which will drag them like this, but obviously then you can drag them over here, and it's not going to look necessarily pretty, but it gets the job done. Guess you can arrange them vertically, but it's gonna look even nastier. So you can use all of those layouts, see which one. No, the trees don't really do anything. Let's see if this one does anything. Oh, that doesn't this look nice? So as you can see, we have a lot of different layouts which you can use. I actually like this one, it looks kind of cool. Not gonna keep it though. Let's also test the circle since we're here. Whoa. This looks very interesting. Please undo. Please don't do this to me. Okay. Let's see if I grab all of these and arrange them. Maybe they'll look a bit better. They should be distributed horizontally. No. As you see, I'm not very used to this, so let me grab them all again. Arrange, layout, horizontal. I think this should space the loot. Yeah, it does. Great, and it centers them, so it's a better visual aspect. Now, for those two nodes, I'm not gonna use a line again. I'm not gonna just place them something like this, and there we go. Now, it's not gonna look very pretty, but it's gonna get the job done. Let's run it a bit, see if it works as intended. So as you see, we got an epic there. We keep getting rares with equal values. And of course, you can add different conditions to all of them, or develop it however you want. Arrange it according to possibilities. I mean, you can't make a 1000 nodes gacha and make it look pretty, or at least I don't think you can. So as you see, it's working pretty well. I think that's about it, about what I wanted to show you, how to manipulate it. You saw how to quickly add them. You saw how a diagram looks in Drive as an Excel sheet. Hopefully you can get some use out of it. It was pretty interesting. So with that, I think we're gonna end today's video. Let me know if this helped you in any way, or if there's anything you didn't understand, or if there are any questions or anything you want explained or added, or basically anything you'd like to share about the video. I'd like to hear it. Also, any questions you have, we have a public Slack workspace where you can contact us. We have a Discord channel now. You can also contact us there with different questions, template requests. If you have any requests for any templates you'd like seen created during a video, please let me know. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys next time.